So welcome once again to another Shabbat teaching, Awakening of the Dry Bones in Ezekiel 37. We're going to see how these prophecies turn out, or how we're going to get more understanding of the Lion of Judah, and we're going to get more understanding of the awakening of the dry bones, and so much more. Very important teaching. This teaching this week, there was an aspect to it that I was looking into, and I actually decided not to do the teaching because I said I did not have enough to do it. And then when I started to do it, and everything started to fall in place, and so much understanding coming in one after the other. Please do watch this, and I think you might want to watch this again, because we're going to look more specifically at the Lion of Judah. And we start with the fact that Judah is prophesied to be leading the gathering of the children of Yasharal out of Babylon. And we go to Nehemiah 12, verse 1. Nehemiah 12, verse 1. This is Zerubbabel from the tribe of Judah.
Now these are the priests and the Levites that went up with Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Yeshua, Sariah.
Let me continue. I forgot where I left off. So Judah, through Zerubbabel, will be leading the children of Yasharal, or led the children of Yasharal out of Babylon. Now, another prophecy is Judah, the rod and the branch. In Isaiah 11, I think we looked at it the last time, and this teaching will be better understood if you looked at our previous two teachings on the Lion of Judah. Isaiah 11 is actually about the rod and the branch. Previously, we thought, and most people thought, that the rod and the branch were the same. I think it was the last teaching on the Lion of Judah. We showed that the Lion of Judah is not the same as the branch. The rod is not the same as the branch. Isaiah 11 verse 1 tells us about the rod and the branch.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. So previously, as we said, we thought about this rod being Yahushua HaMashiach and the branch being Yahushua HaMashiach. But in our previous teaching, we looked at Yahushua being the vine. I am the vine, ye are the branches. So the branch is actually an Israelite from the tribe of David. The rod out of the stem of Jesse is Yahushua HaMashiach. So let's look at Yahushua the rod. Isaiah 11 verses 2 to 9. Isaiah 11 verses 2 to 9. Go ahead. And the Spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuwah. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahuwah. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins.
So we're talking about Yahushua HaMashiach. Continue. Too high.
The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox, and the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp, and their weaned child shall put his hand on the cockroach den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahuwah, as the waters cover the sea.
So that was Yahushua HaMashiach. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of Yahuwah. So from verse 2 to 9 is speaking about HaMashiach. But verse 10 onwards is speaking now about the branch. The branch. So let's look at the branch, who is Zerubbabel, the branch. Isaiah 11 verse 1. Read verse 1 again, please.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
All right. So let's go down to the branch. This is the wrong thing on the I made an error. I should have set up one for the branch. But go to verse 10.
And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
So this branch is going to be used to gather the people in the end time. So when it declares this root of Jesse, it says a branch shall come out of the root. Yeah, so that was the branch, Zerubbabel, the branch. And they should be at the wrong place, I think. So Yahusha with the 7 Ruachot. The 7 Ruachot of Alua was given to Yahusha without measure. I think I missed something here. Oh, yes. Yahusha with the 7 Ruachot, 7 spirits. Isaiah 11:2 shows us the 7 Ruachot that were with Yahusha. Isaiah 11 verse 2.
And the spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Yahuwah.
Yeah, 7 spirits with him. Now these 7 Ruachot is the Hebrew for spirits, 7 Ruachot of Alua given to Yahusha without measure. John 3:34.
For he whom Yahuwah hath sent speaketh the words of Alua. For Alua giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him.
So Yahusha was given the 7 Ruachot of Yahuwah without measure. Now in the book of Revelation 5, verse 6, Yahusha is referred to as the Lamb with the 7 eyes.
And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne, and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Alua, sent forth into all the earth.
So Yahusha as a lamb stood, 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 Ruachot of Alua, sent forth into all the earth. Now, all things are given into the hands of Yahusha. John 3:35. All things were given into the hand of Yahusha, because when it says in verse 34, Alua giveth not the Ruach by measure unto him, in 35, it tells us all things were given to Yahusha. Verse 35.
The Father loveth the Son, and hath given all things into his hand.
So Yahusha given the 7 Ruachot without measure, and then the Father has given Yahusha everything in his hands, the 7 Ruachot of Yahuwah. And in turn, Yahusha the Lamb will be guiding Zerubbabel. The 7 eyes and the 7 Ruachot of Yahuwah will be with Zerubbabel in the end time, the Lion of Judah in the end times. Go to Zechariah 4, verses 6 to 10. So many of the things that we thought was actually referring to Yahusha that we learned was actually referring to the end time Lion of Judah, the Ruach of Zerubbabel. Zechariah 4, 6 to 10. Hold on, please, let me get it. Read it, please.
Then he answered.
No. Zechariah 4, 4.
So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my master? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my master. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahuwah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith Yahuwah of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it. And thou shalt know that Yahuwah of hosts hath sent me unto you. For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice, and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel.
With those seven.
They are the eyes of Yahuwah, which run to and fro through the whole earth.
All right, so this is it. The Father has given his seven Ruachot to his Son, and the Father has given everything into the hand of the Son, and the Son will give the seven Ruachot to guide Zerubbabel, the branch in the end time. This is the end time servant, the Lion of Judah, who will be a man who will be given the seven Ruachot of the Father to guide him in the end. Now, Zerubbabel, the branch, will be gathering Yasharal. Stay with me, please, because you're going to get some insights here. Just stay with me. Zerubbabel, the branch, will be gathering Yasharal. And I think we already looked at it. Yeah, we looked at, let me get this off. We looked at Isaiah 11, 10 to 11, when it says the root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign, and that it shall come pass in that day that Yahuwah will set his hand the second time to recover the remnant of his people. So this will be done through Judah. But here's where it gets interesting. Because Ephraim is also prophesied to be leading the gathering of the 12 tribes of Yasharal, even out of Babylon as well. Jeremiah 31:1.
At the same time, saith Yahuwah, will I be a lure of all the families of Yasharal, and they shall be my people. Thus saith Yahuwah, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Yasharal, when I went to cause them to rest. Yahuwah hath appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee. Again I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O virgin of Yasharal. Thou shalt again be adorned with thy tabrets, and shalt go forth in the dances of them that make merry. All right, and look at that virgin of Yasharal. I think we will be looking at this later on as well. O virgin of Yasharal. Let's continue with Ephraim, because in this process that we're looking at, Ephraim will not envy Judah in the end time gathering. Ephraim and Judah will not envy each other as they did in days before. Read verse 13, please. Isaiah 11:13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Yehudah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
They shall not, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. The context of this is that in the olden days, there was a northern kingdom called Ephraim, the southern kingdom called Judah. The southern kingdom comprised of the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and half Levi, the priests, etc., who were serving in the temple in Jerusalem, in the southern kingdom in Judah. The northern kingdom comprised of the 9.5 tribes that were left. They were in the north. They became enemies of the southern kingdom, and they fought many battles together. And so they became great enemies. It was as if they were not families. So the Most High is saying that this will not happen anymore. So how shall the remnant return? We're going to show the significance that we just showed that Judah will be gathering the people. And we're going to show that Ephraim again also will be leading the gathering of the people. So we kind of have a clash that we have to resolve. So Jeremiah 31 verse 8.
Behold, I will bring from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither.
So we have the north country, and we know that the north country usually refers to Babylon when it is referring to our people, where our people being in the north. And that equivalent today is the headquarters of Babylon today, United States. That would be significant. Would be similar to the north country. Verse 9.
They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Yasharal,
And Ephraim is my firstborn. And Ephraim is my firstborn. Now, when the Moses is speaking about firstborn there, speaking about Ephraim, the son of Joseph, Ephraim is my firstborn. The right of the firstborn belongs to Ephraim among the tribes of Yasharal. But Ephraim went into idolatry, worshipping the golden calves under Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Yasharal to sin. They worshipped the golden calves, and they were estranged from the Most High, some 720 BC or thereabout. But the Most High has not forgotten them. They still remain his firstborn. So in the end time gathering, they will be the firstborn who will be gathering his people. Because Ephraim transgressed, that is why Judah now took up the, I wouldn't say position, the temporary place of the firstborn. Because to Judah belongs the kingdom. The kingdom belongs to Judah, but the right of the firstborn is Ephraim. So when he's declaring that Ephraim is my firstborn, we know the firstborn, for example, Yahusha, is the firstborn among many brethren, the firstborn from the dead. He takes primacy, he comes first. So when Ephraim is my firstborn and he's gathering his people, Ephraim will be right there out front. That is why in verse 10, he tells us about gathering him. Verse 10.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him, as a shepherd doth his flock. For Yahuwah hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he.
So he will be gathering Yasharal through the use of his firstborn. Ephraim, his firstborn. Now the 12 tribes of Yasharal shall be united in battling the Gentiles in the end. Isaiah 11 verses 14 to 16.
But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And Yahuwah shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Yasharal in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt.
And in the book of 2nd Ezra, it tells us about this verse 15. It tells us men going over dry shod, that he will stop the streams again, so that the northern kingdom, which is called Ephraim, can go over, because Ephraim was exiled in Assyria. So this is also speaking about Ephraim. So Ephraim also prophesied to be leading the battle against the nations. In the book of Obadiah 1, verses 16 to 17, it tells you that Yosef, Ephraim, will be integral in fighting, destroying the Gentiles. Obadiah 1, 16 to 17.
For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be kadoshness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire,
And the house of Joseph a flame,
and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahuwah hath spoken it.
So the house of Joseph shall be as flame. So the house of Joseph, Ephraim, will be used to burn and light a flame in on Esau. Notice it says the house of Jacob shall be a fire. It didn't say the house of Judah shall be a fire, because then that would be separating the northern and the southern kingdom. It shows you that Joseph will be leading the lighting of the fire for the 12 tribes of Yasharal. All right? So Jacob shall flow together. All 12 tribes shall flow together through the leading of Ephraim. It isn't much we haven't looked at Ephraim much, but let's look into it. We'll see interesting things about it. Jeremiah 31:12. We are still in Jeremiah 31, verse 12 to 13.
Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of Yahuwah, for wheat and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Then shall the virgin rejoice in the dance, both young men and old together. For I will turn their mourning into joy, and I will comfort them, and make them rejoice from their sorrow. And I will satiate the soul of the priests with fatness, and my people shall be satisfied with my goodness, saith Yahuwah.
There we see in verse 13, then shall the virgin rejoice. That virgin again, as I said, we are going to look at that virgin as well. Go to verse 15 to 17.
Thus saith Yahuwah, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentations and bitter weeping, Rahel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not.
All right, so Rachel is Rachel. And we know Rachel had two children, Joseph and Benjamin. So Rachel weeping for her children. And of course, Joseph had two sons, two tribes in Yasharal, Ephraim and Manasseh. These are who we are speaking about, more specifically Ephraim. And remember, when we're speaking about Ephraim, we are speaking about the tribe, and we are also speaking about the whole northern kingdom, because in the whole northern kingdom, the 9.5 tribes together were called the tribe of Ephraim. Just as how Judah, Benjamin, and Levi together were called Judah. Verse 16.
Thus saith Yahuwah, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thine eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith Yahuwah, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy.
Thy work shall be rewarded. It means Yosef. The Most High made a promise of the firstborn to Yosef because of what Yosef did. Yosef actually saved the whole 12 tribes by being a prince of a king in Egypt, and actually brought the children of Yashrael down in the famine to actually save them. So thy work shall be rewarded. The Most High is saying that you did not do that for naught, your children will be rewarded. Verse 17.
And there is hope in thine end, saith Yahuwah, that thy children shall come again to their own border.
Mm-hmm.
I have shortly...
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's look at the Most High's pity for Ephraim. The Most High has this love for Ephraim, the love of the Most High, well, we cannot fathom it. Ephraim went into direct rebellion against the Most High, idolatry. There were 22 kings in the northern kingdom, the reign of the northern kingdom, and not one of them followed the Most High. Mm-hmm. The only person who followed him was, what's his name again? It's not Ahab. What's his name? I don't remember his name. One of them gave a little hint of following him, Jehu or Yahu. He was the one who gave a little hint of following him. But he never left the golden calves as well. He didn't completely follow the Most High. And the Most High never ever ceased his love from the children of Yosef. So let's go to verse 18.
I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised, as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art Yahuwah my allure.
So this is how the Most High has a pity for us, but it only responds to repentance. Notice, Ephraim here is repenting. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art Yahuwah my allure. Verse 19.
Surely after that I was turned, I repented, and after that I was instructed. I smote upon my thigh, I was ashamed, yea, even confounded, because I did bear the reproach of my youth.
So the Most High is going to exalt Rachel's children. Verse 20.
Is Ephraim my dear son? Is he a pleasant child? For since I spake against him, I do earnestly remember him still. Therefore my bowels are troubled for him.
I will surely have mercy upon him.
Saith Yahuwah.
Yahuwah is so merciful. And he's so merciful in the end, he's going to exalt Ephraim right up to the top. Because of the promise he made, Ephraim is my firstborn. The Most High does not break promises at all. Verse 21, the virgin of Yasharal. Again, it speaks about the virgin. It's the third time. We're going to look into the virgin.
Set thee up waymarks, make thee high hips, set thine heart towards the highway, even the way which thou wentest. Turn again, O virgin of Yasharal, turn again to these thy cities.
Now, when we look in the scriptures, we see, O virgin of Yasharal, is speaking about the righteous remnant, but it's also speaking specifically about a woman. The Bible is very deep, and there are things that are hidden. It's speaking about a group of people. It's speaking about the nation, and it's speaking about a woman. A woman, virgin daughter, shall compass a man. This is verse 22.
How long wilt thou go about?
Now, let me finish first. Sorry. So the woman shall compass a man. This is the Revelation 12 woman who in our last teaching or thereabout, we spoke about her as the judge, the eagle on the cherubim. So it's speaking about the 12 tribes. I'm going to show you that it's virgin daughter. It's also speaking about the 144,000, but it's also speaking about a specific woman. Read 22, please.
How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahuwah hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
A woman shall compass a man. Now, remember our last teaching, there was someone on it that commented that a woman compassing a man actually is talking about church. I don't know why we get this thing about church. In the church, there are more women than men, and that is what it means. Yahuwah does not do church. Church is a creation of the Gentiles. The woman compassing a man is deeper than just women, more women in the assembly. Compass means to surround. And this morning we were doing a teaching, we were doing our morning teaching, and we came upon this verse. And that's why we believe in precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little. It was in, what was it again? Sirach 35:26. Sirach 35. 35 or 34. 30, what 35 what again? And 35 does not have 26. What did the verse say again? What about the hedge?
It was in 35, but it was the last.
Okay.
36. Yes, 36:26, I think. No.
It's 24, 25, 26.
It's 34? 24?
26. 24.
Oh, yes. It's 25.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled, and he that has no woman will wander up and down mourning.
Here we go. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. The word says, a woman shall do what? Compass a man. Why this thing decides to give trouble again? Yeah. The woman compassing the man, the woman surrounding the man, that is the woman actually providing a help to the man. Where no hedge is, if the woman does not compass the man, then the possession is spoiled. That means things will not go right. A woman has her part to play, my people, and that part is as in a marriage. In a marriage, if we have a good woman, then the marriage is complete. Let me go. Where is it? Go to verse 23.
If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her man like other men?
Then is not her husband like other men, not a question. So if you have a good woman, that husband will be like no other. Read 24 now.
He that gets a woman begins a possession, and a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest.
Woman, that's the woman's function, to help. So when a woman compasses a man, makes a hedge around, that woman is a protection around to ensure that the man gets enough help for him to be a success. Now, this was what Eve was meant to be. Eve was meant to be a support to Adam. But, let me get back down to, But, if the woman wants to be more than a help, that is where the problem begins. A woman has to be in subjection to the man, or else that woman is not going to be a help, that woman is going to be a destruction. That woman is not going to help the man, he's going to bring down the man. And we have several scriptures about a woman, and even how it is better to be on a housetop than to be with a brawling woman or whatever. And so we need a woman that is in subjection. And we're speaking this morning and we're getting many insights about it. And one of the things that was stated is that is why a woman covers her head. A woman covers her head to show humility because her hair is her splendor. It is that humble woman that can help the man. Our nation, in the end, will go back to how it should have been from creation. From creation, man should have been helped by the woman, but the woman jumped the gun and went and took the lead instead of being a helpmeet to the man. So in the end, that is why when you come into the way, they say cover your hair, cover your hair. It is practice of covering, it is practice of humility. But some women cover their head and boy, they are worse than, it makes no difference. They don't understand what it means. It is a sign of humility. So in the end, our nation is going to get the covering that it is supposed to have, and that is to have being compassed or being hedged around by the woman, by a woman. In the end, a woman will play her true role in actually helping to lead our nation. And that help will be in the place of judgment, as we have looked at when we looked at the cherub. Let me get back to, yes. So let's go to Jeremiah 31:23. Sorry. Go from 22 to 23.
How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahuwah hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
So Jeremiah 31 is about us returning back to the land. A woman shall compass a man. A woman will be used to help to bring up our nation as we come out of captivity. Verse 23.
Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the allure of Yasharal. As yet they shall use the speech in the land of Yehuda, and in the cities thereof, when I shall bring again their captivity. Yahuwah barak thee, O habitation of justice, and mountain of holiness.
So they shall be talking about it, because if you ask anybody today about a woman's role, they try to actually make it look as if women have no role whatsoever, but just to be quiet, just to be silent. The reason for this is because of the transgression of the woman, but in the end, through Kwa or Eve, but in the end, there's going to be a restoration. Remember, this captivity, this return from captivity is a restoration of how the order should be. And this restoration of this woman in the end time is to restore us to the true place of a woman. And this is going to be a righteous woman. Verse 24.
And they shall dwell in Yehuda itself, and in all the cities thereof together, husbandmen and they that go forth with flocks. For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul. Upon this I awaked, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet unto me.
Continue.
Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will sow the house of Yasharal and the house of Yehudah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. And it shall come to pass, like as I have watched over them, to pluck up and to break down, and to throw down, and to destroy, and to afflict, so will I watch over them, to build and to plant, saith Yahuwah.
So this is the end time restoration of the virgin daughter. We're going to look more into this virgin daughter. Now, Isaiah 40, we are going to go into Isaiah 40 to see what we get about the end time with Ephraim and Judah. Remember, we are laying the foundation. We are looking into the Lion of Judah to get more insight into this end time leader who will be leading our people out of Babylon into the land of Yasharal. It is practical. We have to know what is coming and not be blind and just be there. Because before we got this understanding, we didn't know how the end time would end up. We didn't know what was there, but now we know and understand what is going to happen. So when things happen on this earth, we are not carried away. Remember, it is promised that there will be an anti-Messiah that is coming in the end. And that anti-Messiah, as it said in the ascension of Isaiah, that almost every believer will be deceived. That is why what we teach will be different from what people are teaching, because we are teaching you to escape the anti-Messiah. So if you don't understand these things, then when this person comes on this earth and start doing all signs and wonders, tell the sun to stand still and the sun stands still, and tell the moon not to shine and the moon does not shine, and does all sorts of miracles. And it is said in the book, The Ascension of Isaiah, the only miracle he will not be able to do is to raise the dead. And he's going to give his people in the end time the power to raise the dead to show the difference. Okay? So we have to understand these things. So Ephraim shall not envy Judah, nor Judah envy Ephraim. That is a constant Isaiah 11:13 throughout. Remember, we're also looking at the dry bones, the awakening before the gathering of his people. Ezekiel 37:1. And keep in the background Isaiah 41. Because we're giving the Ezekiel 37 as a background for Isaiah 40 and vice versa.
The hand of Yahuwah was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahuwah, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
All right, so look at that keyword there, the valley, midst of the valley. We're going to look at this valley as well soon. Isaiah 40 verse 1.
Comfort ye my people, saith your allure. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she hath received of Yahuwah's hand double for all her sins.
Double for all her sins. Bear this double in mind again, please. This teaching you have to really be thinking with this teaching, because there are some keywords you have to remember. Remember valley. Remember double. Because this is going to let us understand the end time Lion of Judah. This double for her sins. Now, we remember this from John the Baptist when he says, prepare ye the way. Now, we're going to show you that son of Ephraim, Elijah, back in the day was to herald the end times. This thing looks so pale. Isaiah 40 verse 3.
The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of Yahuwah, make straight in the desert a highway for our allure.
So John the Baptist, it was said, fulfill this. And it was said that this was speaking about Elijah. Go to Malachi 3 verse 1. We're looking at this prophecy of an end time messenger in the time of the end who will prepare the way for Yahuwah, who will prepare the way for the Messiah. Because John the Baptist came preparing the way, and it was understood that preparing the way means preparing the way for the Messiah. It is the same way the Lion of Judah in the end will be preparing the way for the Messiah. Just as what happened at the time of John the Baptist, it is going to happen in the latter days, in this time that we are living in again. There will be Elijah returning to prepare the way for the Messiah. Continue.
Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Yahuwah, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith Yahuwah of hosts.
And let's go to Matthew 3, verse 3 now, for how it was manifested in the New Testament.
For this is he that was spoken of by the prophet Isaiah, saying, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the master, make his paths straight.
Make his paths straight. Now, in the book of Matthew 17:1, we saw Elijah returning and speaking with the Messiah. But John the Baptist was around at that time. Yet still, the Messiah is going to tell you that Elijah has come, and Elijah was John the Baptist. Yet Elijah was there in the spirit. Read from verse 1, please.
And after 6 days, Yahusha taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him.
That Elias there is Elijah talking with him. Now, down in verse 10 now, his disciples said, how come they said that Elijah should come at this time? And we saw Elijah in the mountain. Read from verse 10.
And his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things.
All right. Does not that happen then? It's going to happen again in the end. Elijah is going to come and do what? Restore all things. Continue.
But I say unto you, that Elias is come already, and
They knew him not. Just as how in those days they did not know Elijah, they are not going to know him again in the end. Continue.
But have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Of John the Baptist. So Elijah, the rock of Elijah, the soul of Elijah was in John the Baptist. And John the Baptist was there to prepare the way of Yahuwah. So Elijah must return in the end times. Let me turn on these things. The Apocalypse of Elijah. I think it's 5:32. Apocalypse of Elijah. Let me read it. Oh, you got it? After these things.
After these things, Elijah and Enoch will come. They will lay down the flesh of the world, and they will receive their spiritual flesh. They will pursue the son of lawlessness and kill him, since he is not able to speak.
This is the anti-Messiah, who they call Antichrist. Elijah and Enoch, it says, will come down. And then it says they will lay down the flesh of the world, and they will receive their spiritual flesh. So Elijah and Elias, they are going to be here in the end time once again, just as in the New Testament, but it will be a different version of Elijah. They will lay down the flesh of the world, and they will receive their spiritual flesh. This is, they will be among the 144,000, and they will be activated. When they are activated, they will put on their spiritual flesh. This is what when Shaul was speaking about in 1 Corinthians 1:15. We shall not all sleep, but we shall what? All be changed. In a moment, in a twinkle of an eye. And the dead in Messiah will rise, and we shall all be changed. Okay? Spiritual flesh. This is going to happen to them. And so that is why they will be able to destroy the anti-Messiah. So they will lay down the flesh of the world and receive their spiritual flesh. Activation of the 144,000. 1 Corinthians 15:51-54.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
All right, so that's the change. That is when they will take off mortal flesh, lay down the flesh of the world, and receive their spiritual flesh. There is a natural body, as Shaul says, and there is a spiritual body. They shall receive their spiritual body. Now, we're going to look at something very interesting. The priesthood of Ephraim. How many people knew that there was a priesthood of Ephraim? By lineage. This is spoken about in the book, The Order of the Ancients. There is a priesthood of Ephraim that is going to be used in the end time in Zion. Many people did not know that this would happen in the end, that there will be a... Oh, hold on, please. Duplicate. All right. Yeah. There's a priesthood of Ephraim by descent. And in the end times, this priesthood will be used for Zion. This will be the constitution of Zion. Let's go into it. The priesthood of Ephraim by lineage. This is the book, The Order of the Ancients, which we have this book, but it's not a book that you throw around. It is a book for those who are gathering together. It is a constitution for the Acts 2 and Acts 4-5 assembly. When they were together, this was what administered them. This was what governed them. Read from verse 1, please, the record of Eliyahu the Tishbite. You got it? All right, you'll have to read the one. I'll read it because this is the one that has the sacred names in it. The record of Eliyahu the Tishbite, or Elijah the Tishbite, which he wrote for his disciple Elisha, who we call Elisha, whom he called from his field in Abel Meholah under the Kodesh order of Elohim. Behold, I, Eliyahu, write this record with my own hand, and no man shall see it until I have ascended into the Shamayim. Then shall my authority and the keys of my priesthood, which is the priesthood of the fathers, pass to my son Elisha by right of lineage and obedience. This priesthood came down to me from the fathers by lineage. For I am a descendant of Yahusha, or Joshua, the son of Nun, who was descended from Ephraim, the son of Yusuf, or Joseph, through whom the rights of the firstborn descended in Yasharal. I want you to look at that. There is a priesthood from Ephraim that is passed down by lineage, just as how you have the Levitical priesthood by lineage, the descendants of Aaron. It is the same way there is a priesthood by Ephraim. These rights I received when I was but a young boy from my father, before he was martyred for the testimony of Yahuwah and according to the word of Yahuwah. I have appointed Elisha, who is my adopted son, to be my successor in bearing of this work. Verse 6. But not all of my rights shall rest upon him, because Yahuwah has said, Behold, my servant Elijah, or Eliyahu, will not die, but will bear with him the keys of his ministry unto the city of the Shamayim, until the last days, when I shall send him unto one of his seed, whom I shall raise up to bear the fullness of this ministry again amongst the sons of men. So the Most High told Elijah, that in the last days he will send him unto one of his seed. So a son of Ephraim, Elijah will be in a son of Ephraim in the end, to bear the fullness of the priesthood of Ephraim. Verse 7. But he shall leave those keys with Elisha, which are necessary to continue his work in organizing the schools of the prophets and the order of Chanuk. The order of Chanuk is actually the order in Mount Zion, so that the sons of the prophets may continue to live faithfully after the Kodesh order of Elohim. So let me explain something to you. We are going back to Zion. Now, imagine us going to Zion, and we are going there and we don't know what we are going to do there. Yahuwah is not the author of confusion. So what the Most High is going to do in the end time, he's going to set up the order or the way of the ancients. This will be the way in which people will live in Mount Zion. So that when people flow into Zion, after going through the way of the ancient, the priesthood of Ephraim, then people will just naturally flow into life. And we're going to look at, in chapter 2, the aspects of this priesthood that are significant. And one of the aspects is personal ownership of property and things. In the book of Acts chapter 2, it spoke about they were all together in one place and they were of one accord. And neither did anyone speak of what they had as their own, consider what they had as their own, for they had all things in common. This is how it is going to be in Zion. It's a restoration. Going into Zion now, it is different from the Levitical priesthood. The Levitical priesthood was about ownership. It was about personal ownership, and every man owned this and owned that. And that is where sin comes in. Because where there is personal ownership and people seeking now to get rich and to get more than the other person, that is when sin comes in. You have envy, covetousness, hatred, jealousy, all of those things come in. But if everyone has everything in common, nothing everyone has they deem as their own, but everyone is willing to part with everything that they have and share everything that they have, then there can be harmony. All right? So, Elijah's return will be through the tribe of Ephraim. Remember, it says, from one of his seed. So the priesthood of Ephraim will be the constitution of Zion. Let's look into chapter 2 of the way of the ancients. Order of the ancients. You can find it now, chapter 2. We're using the same one. It's page 22. 22.
Therefore, my son Elisha, I leave for thee this book of the order by which thou mayest govern, the order of Tanub. For I have organized and governed this order according to the revelations of Yahuwah to me, and under the direction of Ruach HaKadosh, I give thee these instructions. Everyone who desireth to enter the order of Tanub must be one who loveth Yahuwah his Elohah with all his heart, might, mind, and strength, and one who loveth his fellow man as himself, according to the word of Yahuwah through Moshe.
Where do we find where it tells us that the city of Hanok is Zion? You remember?
Oh, that's in the book of Melchizedek, I think.
Oh, the book of Melchizedek. Yeah, the city of Kanuk is Mount Zion. So in it says to enter the order of Kanuk, it's speaking about Mount Zion. Whenever I see this order of Kanuk, Mount Zion. So we see the first prerequisite, love Yahuwah Elohah with all his heart, mind, and love his neighbor as himself, which is the greatest commandment, as told us by Hamashiach, verse 3.
He must covenant to live the law of consecration and to hold
all things common
with his brethren, according to the pattern set by our first parents. For when they came forth from the garden, they divided not up the land, but held it in common, until their posterity through wickedness began to lay claim to it for themselves. Behold, this private ownership of the property came to pass through the teaching of that evil combination which was organized by Cain, that men might get gain for themselves, because the love of Elohah and man is not in them.
So we see, going back to the order of Kanuk, this is mine, it's mine, will not be in Mount Zion. Verse 5.
He who entereth the order must be one who is dedicated to seeing the face of Elohah and receiving from him the promise of eternal life. He must keep the commandments and statutes of Yahuwah his Elohah, to do what is good and upright in the sight of Elohah, according to that which he commanded through Moses the lawgiver, and through his servants the prophets. He who seeketh to enter the holy order of Elohah must be one who loveth that which Yahuwah loveth, and hateth that which Yahuwah hateth. He must keep all the evil far from him and love to do good, that his works may bear testimony of his righteousness before Allah and man. He must be governed by the principles of truth, righteousness, and justice in all he doeth, while in this tabernacle of clay, having repented of his inclinations to follow after the dictates of the flesh, no longer doing evil according to the selfishness and jealousy and contentious spirit which dwelleth in
The natural man. Selfish and jealous and contentious ruach. Hey, that's why debates, that contentious ruach loves to debate. Continue.
Every member of the order must be dedicated to bringing into a bond of mutual love all those who are striving to live after the Kadosh order of Allah. To live after the order of the ancients means that they must live in the community of Allah's elect, holding all things common and loving one another as themselves.
Living in the community of Allah's elect. That is why he gives us Zion, so that all will be living together. That is why he tells us in Zephaniah 2, he says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather yourselves together, nation not desired. It's always a gathering together. You cannot succeed in righteousness until you learn to gather and live together in oneness with others. Because when you live in oneness with others, it requires you to live in righteousness. Any unrighteousness in us is going to show, and it's going to cause trouble living together. Okay? That is why the acid test is living together in the community of Allah's elect. So many people hear about fleeing out of Babylon, and it's about personal ownership, etc. That's not what the Most High wants. Most High wants living in the community of Allah's elect. Continue. Verse 11.
Yea, they must unite in one heart and one mind, for only thus can Zion.
Read 11 again, please.
Yea, they must unite in one heart and one mind, for only thus can Zion be built up in its perfect order, and the name of our Lord be glorified.
You see what I'm saying? This is the constitution of Zion, the order of the ancients, the priesthood of Ephraim. This is what is the constitution. This is what is going to order Zion. This is the importance of this priesthood. A lot of things that we are saying so far might not tie in, but as we go on, everything is just going to tie in. You stay with us. This is one of those teachings you cannot just pick up here and leave. You have to stay, because everything will just streamline and come to one in the end. So please, if you are confused, it will gradually come out. Verse 12.
Those entering the Kadosh order must have shown by their works their desires to live according to all that Allah has revealed, to keep all his commandments, to perfect their lives according to Yahuwah's Kadosh order, that they may be sanctified by the blood of the covenant, unto the renewal of their spirits and their bodies. They must love all the children of light, each according to his position in the house of Allah. For those who live the highest law are most able to be loved, and so forth, even unto the lowest law of Allah.
So when you come together, there's always an order, and we have to respect the order. And the Most High is telling you that there will be an order. And we must love all, not some, all the children of light. Verse 14.
They must hate the works of darkness, and avoid intercourse with the sons of Belial, each according to the measure of his guilt. For Allah will bring every work into judgment,
and those who associate with the wicked will be condemned with them. And this is Psalms chapter 1, is it? Those who associate with the wicked will be condemned with them. Let me get you have a Bible here? No Bible so far? Just so we know and understand. Psalms chapter 1. Up. Psalms 1. Go ahead.
Barak is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
All right. So he does not make his home with the wicked. So that is the constitution of Zion. That is the priesthood of Ephraim in one chapter summarizing what it entails. The book The Order of the Ancients goes into details as to what it entails. Okay? Now, the dry bones. Remember, we are speaking about the Lion of Judah, and we are also speaking about the dry bones. Remember earlier we spoke about valley, and we said pay attention to that key word. Another key word that we said to pay attention to is double. Double for her sins, double. So let's look at the valley, dry bones. Every valley shall be exalted. Look on the screen. This is one of them. You look on the screen and you will get more understanding. Ezekiel 37, verse 1. Go ahead.
The hand of Yahuwah was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahuwah, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
In the midst of the
valley,
that was full of bones. Yeah, the valley, in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. So go to Isaiah 40, verse 4 now. And just keep that Ezekiel 37 in perspective. We're going to go back to it between both of them. So, in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. But in Isaiah 40, verse 4, it says,
every valley shall be exalted.
Okay. Every valley shall be exalted. So the midst of the valley, which was full of dry bones. In the end, the Most High says, every valley shall be exalted. This I don't know what the word is. Exaltation. This exaltation is for the dry bones in the end, because they are in the valley and they shall be exalted. Isaiah 40, verse 4.
Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain.
Significant that when the dry bones are being exalted, then the exalted will be brought low. So at the time of the dry bones, we must expect the Gentiles to be coming to an end. That's what I speak about in Romans 11, about blindness in part happened to Yasharal until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. The Most High does not put up two people up. And this is when the context of the Lion of Judah. He's not the author or the causer of confusion. So when one is up, one is up. When they are down, the rest are down, they are down. So when he's exalting Yasharal, the rest of the world will be brought down. Verse 5.
And the splendor of Yahuwah shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of Yahuwah hath spoken it.
All right, so the splendor is going to exalt them. Go to verse 2 of Ezekiel 37. You can read from verse 1 into 2.
The hand of Yahuwah was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of Yahuwah, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me,
Okay, that's it. There were very many in the open valley, and they were very dry. But these bones shall live. Ezekiel 37, let's go from verses 3 to 10 now.
And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Yahuwah Elohim, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinew upon you, and I will bring upon flesh, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone.
All right. Bone to his bone. That again is showing the Messiah is not the author of confusion. Bone to his bone refers to his people to his people, his nation to his nation. This is not for everybody. This is for the whole house of Yasharal. When he's restoring the same order as before, bone to his bone. Verse 8.
And when I beheld, lo, the sinews of the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then said he unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, Son of man, and say to the wind, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceedingly great army.
An exceedingly great army. And this breath here, this wind, is Ruach HaKadosh poured into them. Now, when the dry bones are awakened, they will have the Father's Ruach in them. The Father's Ruach will be in them, and they will be doing a particular thing. Read from verse 11 to 14, please.
Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharal. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off from all our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves, and cause you to come up out of your graves, and bring you into the land of Yasharal.
Hold on there. You see the dry bones there? So many people are saying, oh, this is an awakening. We are the dry bones. The dry bones will go into the land of Yasharal. Now, it says, I will open your graves. This is speaking about it literally, open the graves. As it says, the dead in Messiah shall rise first. But it is also speaking about being dead in sin. And being dead in sin while we are living, that is us returning from the dead. And when we return from the dead, it says, and bring you into the land of Yasharal. The dry bones, their target is the land. When they awaken, it is like awaken and must target the land. So I don't understand people, believers today, say that they are awakened. And when they are awakened, they are nice and pretty sitting wherever they are. Sitting in the United States and say, oh, this is an awakening. I am awakened. If you are truly awakened, you are going to be on fire for the land. Your desire is going to be for the land. And you're not going to be sitting either like most of them. Oh, I can't wait for the second Exodus. In Jeremiah 50 verses 4 to 5, it says, they shall ask the way to Zion and set their faces to the word. Of their own efforts, they are going to be, so something is going to be inside of them. Of their own efforts, they're going to have a burning desire to go into the land. Because that is what the awakening is. Go to verse 13 into 14.
And ye shall know that I am Yahuwah, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you
In your own land. And how does he place us in his own land? When we are living, we have the Ruach HaMashiach in us, and the Ruach HaMashiach will guide us into all truth. It's through the Ruach HaMashiach we are told where to go. So when you have the Father's Ruach, you're going to have this desire. Read 14 again, please.
And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, Yahuwah, have spoken it, and performed it, saith Yahuwah.
All right. So as I said before, it says this is a puzzle, and bits and pieces are going to be fitting together. This is where memory comes in. Any of you who are writing now, you're going to be dead. As we have said before, don't write when you're listening, just listen. You can write after when everything is done. Just listen. It is the Ruach that is going to guide you into all truth and fit the pieces together. So we're looking now at the reuniting of Judah and Ephraim. We're going to be in Ezekiel 37, but first we are going to go to Isaiah 11 verses 12 to 13, and then we get back. Isaiah 11, 12 to 13. Go ahead.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Yasharal, and gather together the dispersed of Yehudah from the four corners of the earth.
This is the Lion of the tribe of Judah who's going to do this. Verse 13.
The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Yehudah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Yehudah, and Yehudah shall not vex Ephraim.
What we're going to show is why this is going to happen. Why Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not envy Ephraim in the gathering together of the children of Yasharal. So this gathering in verse 12 is going to result in this. We're going to show why. The gathering in verse 12 is going to result in there not being envy in verse 13. The reuniting of Judah and Ephraim, Ezekiel 37, verses 15 to 19.
The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it, for Yehudah, and for the children of Yasharal, his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharal, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Hold on there. Where did I say? 15 to 19. So, the Most High said, take one stick, Judah, one stick, Ephraim, join them together one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. You know, these things are right there before our very eyes. This that we are going to teach today. It's right there before our very eyes, and we couldn't see it. Read it again. Just read it again, so that when we get it, we'll see it. Read it again, please. From 15.
The word of Yahuwah came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it, for Yehudah, and for the children of Yasharal, his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharal, his companions. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Yeah? Continue, please.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph,
Which
which
is
is
in
in
the
the
hand
hand
of
of
Ephraim,
Ephraim, and
and the
the tribe
tribes of
of
Yasharal
Yasharal
his
his fellows,
fellows.
and will put them with him, even with the stick of Yehuda, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
In where?
In mine hand.
One in mine hand. No, it appears to be talking. Remember, we're talking about the virgin. And we said the virgin refers to the nation. It refers to the 144, but it also refers to a woman. Now, joining together in one stick is referring to the nation, the 10 tribes, but it also refers to one person again. One person joined together in one in the hand of Yahuwah. We're going to look at the significance of that. How are Ephraim and Yehuda reunited? Go to Isaiah 11, 10 to 11 again. This is kind of a revision to get us intact back to where we are.
And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahuwah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
All right, so Ephraim, the firstborn, we said before, will also gather his people. Go to Jeremiah 31, 8 to 9. So we have Judah, we have the branch there, the Lion of Judah gathering the people, but we also have Ephraim who will be also gathering the people. And we know Yahuwah is not the author of confusion. Go again.
Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither.
Mm-hmm.
They shall come with weeping and with supplications, will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of waters in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. For I am a father to Yasharal,
And Ephraim is my firstborn. So we have two nations here slated together, Ephraim and Judah. Right throughout this is Ephraim and Judah. And again, if you don't understand, if you stay to the very end, I am almost sure that you're going to understand everything. Just follow. So how many people will be gathering for Yahusha in the end? Let's look at one steward the Messiah will be using to gather his people. Luke 12:42. How many? Because we have Ephraim gathering, we have Judah gathering. How many will be gathering for Yahusha in the end? Luke 12:42 to 44.
And Yahuwah said,
The master said,
and the master said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his master shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season?
we see here it's one. And it's a steward whom his master shall make ruler over his household. The Messiah gave two parables of his end-time servant. One described the servant as a steward and the other as a porter. Both of them have two different meanings. Now, each one he described in the singular, which means the gathering of the children of Yashua in the end is going to be attributed to one leader. the Lion of Judah. But Ephraim will also be gathering. Judah will also be gathering. So the steward will be ruler over his household. Continue 43 to 44, please.
Barak is that servant, whom his master, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath.
So if the steward actually does watch, the master, the Messiah, will make him ruler over everything that he has. Now the meaning of the word steward, it is oikonomos, that Greek word. It means the base, a house distributor, that is manager or overseer. That is an employee in that capacity. It's an overseer, a ruler. Figuratively, a preacher of the gospel, chamberlain, governor, steward. And this word governor here is significant because Zerubbabel was described as the governor of Yehuda. So it's one steward. So let's look again how many will be gathering. One porter of Yahusha. Mark 13:34.
For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house, and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch.
Okay. So one porter, his servants, but one porter. And that porter would also be the steward that is over them. The steward is the ruler and the porter will watch. 35 to 37.
Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.
All right. So the porter, it's the same thing for the porter. A warning for the porter not to be sleeping. Watch. Watch. Now, the word porter there is a Greek word turos, which means a doorkeeper, a watcher. Porter, male or female janitor, a gate warden that kept the door. So we have a ruler, the steward, and we also have someone who keeps the door. And what's the significance of keeping the door? Yahusha said, I am the door, but he also gave a parable about a porter. Let's look at the porter and the shepherd. Yahusha is the shepherd, but Yahusha is going to leave the Lion of Judah, will be his porter that will be on the earth before he comes. This is about the porter, the Lion of Judah. The porter and the shepherd. John 10 verses 1 to 3. Verily, verily.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
So you see, in the end time, when his people will be gathering, he's going to be gathering people under one person, one order. We have to find that order. So we are watching, waiting for that order to see who will be gathering, yeah, and be willing to fit in place. We are not here thinking that, all right, most people, all right, I'm going to stay here or I am going to go there and wait and I'm going to do this. No, we are looking for that porter. We are looking for that steward that the Most High is going to show us will be using to do the gathering. Because he said, if we go through any other way, anyone who comes in any other way is a thief and a robber. That means there's only one way. Verse 2.
But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out.
So the Most High is going to have a caretaker. This is why we tell you about the Lion of Judah. A caretaker that is going to keep the sheep. Then, when the Messiah returns, the porter is going to open the door and give the sheep to Hamashiach, because the porter has kept the sheep. He was sent to watch. He was sent to rule them, and that rule will be under the order of the ancients. Simple. It is time for Zion. When we are ready for Zion, under the order of the ancients, they will be kept in that order. Then, when Hamashiach returns, the porter is going to say, hey, here they are. Then the sheep are going to know Yahusha's voice, and they are going to turn to him and lead them out. That is the principle. So the meaning of porter is turos, as we said, a watcher, a doorkeeper. A doorkeeper. Now, a doorkeeper signifies someone who is keeping Messiah's place. A doorkeeper is not someone who lets in everybody through the door, is it? When you have a doorkeeper, I remember back in the days when you used to have dances. This is the closest thing. You used to have dances. You have what you call the gate man. Yeah, they have the bouncer. Well, in Jamaica, we call it the gate man. That gate man is the keeper. So let me think along the lines of bouncer then. Let me use bouncer. That bouncer ensures that everything is in what? Order. And if things are not in order, what is he going to do?
He finds out. He finds where the chaos is coming from, and he kills people.
And if he'll throw you out.
That's right.
Some of them are so zealous to throw out people. They just want to hear, huh? They say, okay. And they go and throw you out. Mm-hmm. So the porter is not someone who is going to take in everyone. And if you go to the book, The Order of the Ancients, it tells you there has to be an interview before people are accepted. If they are accepted, well. But if they are not found to be competent, it says you're going to have questions interviewing them to find out if they are fit for the community. So this porter, his job is to watch. But the job of the steward is more like the bouncer. He is the one who rules. And he is the one who is going to determine whether or not a person stays or goes. So that's the meaning of porter. So let's read up now. The porter openeth, verse 5. No, verse 4 to 5. Read from verses 4 to 5. The porter takes care of the sheep until the shepherd comes. Then, verse 4.
And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of the strangers.
Guess what the Most High has made to happen? Right at the time when we are to be delivered, the Most High has allowed the anti-Messiah, they call it Antichrist, to come out powerfully in this world. He has not been revealed as yet. He's here, but has not yet started doing his thing in the public as yet. The Most High is going to make an anti-Messiah come. So, you see, if you are with the wrong porter, wrong steward, if you're in the wrong order, you're going to be snared by the anti-Messiah. Look what it says in 5. A stranger will they not follow. But in the ascension of Isaiah, it says almost every believer will be tricked by the anti-Messiah. A stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of the stranger. So that is why it is important to teach people the truth of the scriptures. That is why it is important to decipher between right and wrong and truth and false, or else we will be following the wrong voice. Okay? So the porter and the shepherd, one porter, one shepherd, both of them are the same person. He's not going to give a porter and a shepherd, it's the same person. So Ephraim and Judah, in the end time Lion of Judah will be one person, both Ephraim and Judah. That's the purpose of this. The Lion of Judah will be both Ephraim and Judah. Let's look at how double portion. 2 Kings 2, 9-15. We're going to get the idea. I said it and it might sound hard to fathom or to understand. You're going to understand it. 2 Kings 2, 9-15. Hold on, please, for me, please. We have been speaking for the past few weeks about the mysteries of the kingdom through Pistis Sophia, and we got to understand how souls can be placed into different people. One person can have more than one souls of different people inside of them. 2 Kings 2, verse 9-15. Go ahead, please.
And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee, before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me.
Let a what?
A double portion.
Remember earlier I spoke about pay attention to this word double. In the book of Isaiah 40, it says they receive double for their sins. Elisha asked for a double portion of what?
The spirit.
Of thy ruach. So a person can have a double portion of ruach inside of them. Now he wanted a double portion of Elijah's ruach. But the Most High is going to give the end time Lion of Judah double portion of the ruach of Elijah and Zerubbabel together. We're going to show you. Continue, please.
And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it, and cried, my father, the chariot of Yasharal, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in two pieces.
That the two pieces there signify the double portion. Continue.
He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, Where is Yahuwah Elohah of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elisha went over.
All right, so that's a double portion of Elijah's ruach that made him do that. Isaiah 40, verse 2.
Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned. For she hath received of Yahuwah's hand double for all her sins.
So the Most High has requited double for all of Yasharal's sin, for all of Jerusalem's sin. He is going to repay Jerusalem double. Go to Isaiah 61, verse 7. He gave them double. He's going to reward them again double.
For your shame ye shall have double,
Ye shall have.
double.
So in the end time, in his gathering, he's going to give a double portion. The end time Lion of Judah will have a double portion. The end time Yahusha, the son of Yazidek, who will be serving with Zerubbabel, will also have a double portion. And read 7 again, please.
For your shame ye shall have double, and for your confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them.
In their land they shall possess what? The double. So going back into Zion, it will be double, double. Continue.
For I, Yahuwah, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahuwah hath blessed.
So this is a double portion. All shall acknowledge them, and their seed shall be known. So let's look at Judah and Ephraim, the double portion in the Lion of the tribe of Judah. 1 Timothy 5:17. Remember, we're speaking about the steward. If the steward actually watches. 1 Timothy 5:17. Hold on, please. If the steward actually watches, then Hamashiach said, he shall make him ruler over all that he hath. So let's go to 1 Timothy 5:17. Let's see what will happen to this ruler here.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
There we go. Double portion. This is a principle. Double portion for the elders that rule well. So the end time steward, the Lion of Judah, the porter, will be given a double portion. 17 again.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they
Who labor in the word and doctrine. These people will be given double portion. Zerubbabel will be given a double portion. We're going to come back to that again and show some more. But a deeper meaning in the book of Genesis chapter 49. When it speaks about Yehuda, I need to change the background on this. It's hard to see. The tribe of Judah. Genesis 49:10, what does it say?
The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Seholah come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
It's Shiloh. We call it Shiloh in the West, but it is Shiloh. So the scepter shall not depart from Yehuda, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Now, this we are going to show you. By default, we accept Shiloh as being about the Messiah. But we're going to show you that it is also speaking about his end time servant, the Lion of Judah. Now, the word Shiloh, as you look there, the meaning is he whose it is, that which belongs to him. It's H7866. It's only in the scriptures one time. So there's nothing to match it with to get more understanding. But it is also in the scriptures again. It's also in the scriptures again as H7887. The same Shiloh. which is used 32 times, but this time it has a meaning. Read Joshua 18 verse 1. Let us still look very carefully. I hope I'm not losing anyone. Joshua 18 verse 1.
And the whole congregation of the children of Yasharal assembled together at Shiloh,
Shiloh.
and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them.
So the whole congregation assembled together at Shiloh. Let's look at the meaning of the Shiloh. It says, a place of rest. A city in Ephraim, and temporary home of the Ark of the Covenant and the Tabernacle, a place where Shamuel grew up. So this Shiloh is a place of rest. Now, what is the end-time servant going to do? He is going to gather the people of Hamashiach so that when Hamashiach comes, they will be in the 1,000-year rest. Now, Shiloh is a place in Ephraim. Ephraim is actually coding and telling us that Ephraim has something to do with the time of rest in the end when the Messiah returns. So this is coded and hidden. Shiloh, a place in Ephraim, to let us know that Ephraim will be there in the end, participating in the rest of Yahusha. Now, we're going to show you the Lion of Judah, the two sticks being made one in the hand of Yahuwah, the two becoming one. It is the lineage from the father being from one tribe and the lineage from the mother being another tribe. So let's give the precedence of the lineage by the seed of the father. And then we're going to give precedence for the lineage by the seed of the mother. Then we are going to show Hamashiach being described as being of the seed of his father and of his mother, from one tribe from his father and another tribe from his mother. The end time Lion of Judah will be the same thing, of two tribes. So let's begin. Lineage by the seed of the father, Numbers 1 verse 18.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families,
By the house of their fathers,
according to the number of the names, from 20 years old upward, by their polls.
So before we got this understanding, this is what we always were determined. Has to be by the seed of the father. Now, pedigree there is offspring by the seed of their father. Fair enough. But can someone be of the seed of the mother? We looked at it last week when we looked at Naamah, but let us look in the Bible. 1 Chronicles 2, 34 to 36. This was a descendant of Judah that is in the lineage of Judah. This is in the lineage, I don't know if it's in the lineage of Hamashiach though. I don't know, but this is Judah. Sheshan, who had no sons and daughters and had to give his daughter to an Egyptian, and the Egyptian continued the lineage of Judah through that child who was Attai. So 1 Chronicles 2, 34. Yeah.
Now Sheshan had no sons, but daughters. And Sheshan had a servant, an Egyptian, whose name was Yara. And Sheshan gave his daughter to Yarha, his servant, to wife, and she bare him Attai. And Attai begat Nathan, and Nathan begat Zabad.
And the lineage continued. So the lineage continued through Attai. He was an Israelite by his mother, not by his father. So we show you the two sides there. Last week we showed you the lineage of Cain through a woman. Let's do it again. Writings of Abraham, page 51, chapter 11, 3 to 12, 3. Writings of Abraham, page 51. Verse 3, chapter 11, verse 3, 8 years later.
8 years later,
Yeah, so Nama was of the seed of Cain, and she preserved the seed. So let's look at now Yahusha being of both the tribes of Yehuda and Levi. In the book of Hebrews, he is described as being of the tribe of Yehuda. Hebrews 7 verse 14.
for it is evident that our master sprang out of Yehuda, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
So, in the testament of the patriarchs, though, they looked at both the fact that Yahusha was of both Judah and Levi. In the testament of God, page 67 of 90, chapter 8, verse 1, it says, "Tell these things to your children as well, so that they will honor Yehuda and Levi, Judah and Levi, because from them, from Judah and Levi, Yahuwah will raise up a savior for Yasharal." From who? Judah and Levi. So the Messiah is shown to be from both tribes. Testament of Benjamin. "And in later times there shall rise up the beloved of Yahuwah from the lineage of Judah and Levi." Yehuda and Levi. Now, is this speaking about two persons? No. It says, from the lineage of Yehuda and Levi, one who does his good pleasure by his mouth, enlightening all the nations with new knowledge. The light of knowledge will mount up in Yasharal for her salvation, seizing them like a wolf coming up upon them, gathering the tribes. So one from the lineage of Yehuda and Levi. So Yahusha was of both tribes. Judah by his father, Levi by his mother. Now the Lion of Judah will be Ephraim, Ephraim and Judah, one stick in the hand of Yahuwah. So the Lion of Judah will be from both Ephraim and Judah, joining the two sticks in the book of Ezekiel 37. So then, this is why Ephraim will not envy Judah and Judah will not envy Ephraim. Because together the whole 12 tribes, and you have Judah alone gathering them, Ephraim might cause jealousy with Ephraim again. Because what caused the 12 tribes to split? If we go back to when they got split, I think it was in the book of Kings, it was when the tribes were split, one set given to Jeroboam the son of Nabat, and the southern kingdom given to Rehoboam the son of Shulemar or Solomon. That was what caused the split. But if Ephraim and Judah are in one person, genius, what size a genius? Ephraim and Judah in one person,
Cannot be no conflict.
there's no jealousy. This is how there's no jealousy. So Elijah's Ruach will represent Ephraim and Zerubbabel's Ruach will represent Judah. So the Lion of Judah, the servant of Hamashiach, represents both houses. The father's seed of the Lion of Judah will be Ephraim, the return of Elijah. And the mother's seed, the Lion of Judah, will be Yehuda, the return of Zerubbabel. Because when the Messiah returns, then Judah will be taken over fully under Hamashiach. So for the return, Ephraim being the firstborn is given the eminence so that Ephraim will not envy Judah, but Judah will know that the Messiah is the ultimate and that Ephraim, the Lion of Judah, is just the caretaker until the Messiah returns. So the Lion of Judah is both tribes, so there can be unity between the whole house of Yasharal, bringing to a fulfillment Ezekiel 37:22, which says, Ezekiel 37:22, and I will make them one nation. Stay there. And we're going to go from, I'll tell you where, but it's still Ezekiel 37. Ezekiel 37:22, and I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore. So the two kingdoms will be in what? One person. One person leading is from the two kingdoms. So nobody can say, hey, I'm going over to Judah. Hey, I'm going over to Ephraim. It's in one leader, the end time Lion of the tribe of Judah. So the end time servant, the Lion of Judah, will be one in Yahuwah's hand. Ezekiel 37 verses 16 to 28, and we end it here today. Read it, please.
Moreover,
Hold on, sorry. Ezekiel 37, I said?
Yeah.
16. All right, go ahead.
moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it, for Yehuda, and for the children of Yasharal, his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Yasharal, his companions, and join them one to another
Into one stick.
and they shall become one in thine hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
And one in thine hand and one in Yahuwah's hand. That means they'll be one together in one person. Continue.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Eluah, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Yasharal, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Yehuda, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Eluah, Behold, I will take the children of Yasharal from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land.
Mm-hmm.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Yasharal, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their Eluah.
Mm-hmm.
And David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever.
Yes. So we have the king. My servant David shall be king over them, and my servant David will be prince. The servant David will be king over them. In verse 24 is the Lion of Judah, and the prince Forever is Yahushua HaMashiach their shepherd. They will have one shepherd, and Yahushua HaMashiach is the shepherd. The Lion of Judah is the porter, the steward, who gets everything and keeps everything in order until the shepherd returns for his sheep. Continue.
Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forever. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their allure, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, Yahuwah, do sanctify Yasharal, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore.
All right. Let me explain something here before we go. The understanding of the two sticks. The Eliyahu will return, as it said in the order of the ancient, to set up the order of the ancient, the constitution of Zion, to prepare the people to return to Zion. Now, Zerubbabel will be charged to build the temple. Now, the temple being built, the Lion of Judah will build the temple and set up the order of the temple. In building the temple, you have to also be responsible for setting up the priesthood. The priesthood of Ephraim in Elijah will be in the Lion of Judah. And Zerubbabel, the one who builds the temple, the Most High says, Zerubbabel has started his temple, he will finish it. So Zerubbabel has to come to finish the temple. But the order of Zion in the end time has to be set up so that people who are entering Zion will actually know how to enter. What is going to happen is there is going to be a full-blown second Exodus. That second Exodus is people coming together in one. And this is when the Most High will judge people and will reject people. That's Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 30-something onwards. When the Most High will reject those, purge from among you the rebels and those that transgress against him. So the order of the ancients is how to get into Zion. If you cannot get through that, you cannot enter Zion, because Zion will be a place of oneness, of unity, where the order of the ancients will be kept. So that is why the Lion of Judah has to have both Ephraim, the priesthood of Ephraim, along with the Zerubbabel, the one who is charged to build the temple in the end. We are showing this, people, so that you know and understand, so that when others start come with deception, you'll be able to spot it. Now let's go to Haggai 2. I think it's Haggai 2. Zechariah 4. Let me see, Zechariah 4. Yeah, Zechariah 4. Start at verse 8.
Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of this house. His hands shall also finish it. And thou shalt know that Yahuwah Sabaoth has sent me unto you.
So the Lion of Judah is responsible for setting up the house of Yahuwah. So him being also of the priesthood of Ephraim, having the priesthood of Ephraim with him, he will be able to set up the house. Back in the days, remember, we are living a spiritual end time. Back in the days, you would just set up the house and then the priest would come in. This is one person who is coming in with the priesthood of Ephraim. Verse 10.
For who hath despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice, and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of Yahuwah. which run to and fro through the whole earth.
So the Ruach Mashiach is going to be with Zerubbabel, and he will have the priesthood, and he will set up the end time priesthood, which is preparing people to enter into Zion. Very, very simple. All right. So that's what we have for you today. Only hope this was edifying to you. Only hope this brought some understanding to you, as it has brought unto us. All right. Thank you for listening. I do hope I'll be able to put this out. This thing has been such a trouble to get it going, but we will see what we will see. All right. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, and only hope this brought something to you. Shalom, shalom, shalom.